Hey now, this is a certified hood classic.
Aww.
But good morning to you also.
Hey. You're an idiot.
Not you, Jim. You're not an idiot, but whoever was in court. Welcome to a brand new week. Here we are.
Can you believe it, Creed? Here we are yet again on the verge of getting 12,000 subs over on We Got a Case, your case exclusive channel.
Really?
And right on the verge of getting 34,000 subscribers on to the main channel, Credence and Mikey. And I want to just tell everybody, thank you. We really, really, really do appreciate having you here.
Heck yeah. It's great to surpass that 10K mark on We Got a Case.
I know. I keep thinking I'm going to look one day and it's going to be back to 9,724.
Hope everybody had a good weekend. I know it went by very, very quick. Very, very cold here over the last couple of days.
I think it was 15 when I got up this morning.
Yeah. No thanks. We're going to be in the 70s for a day or two, though, which is nice. But we're going to be up in the mountains of Tennessee, and it's not going to be 70s there.
Well, make sure you keep an eye out for Creed and Emily joining up with Yankee in the South for some amazing, amazing stuff. I've already set it up. They'll be waiting at the cabin.
I watched a Florida resident edits last night.
The one where eating the pizza in the car.
Yeah, the pizzas. The trolls don't bother me, and then he goes on for like 20 minutes.
Oh my God, he just can't let it go. He just
so good. Those of you who don't know about Yankee in the South, enjoy yourself. Go and indulge. And Bradley, 2 months.
My picks would be in the men's rumble. Probably I'm gonna say Cody's gonna win that. In the women's rumble, I think it's gonna be a returning superstar, perhaps.
Ooh.
So we'll see. This weekend's a big weekend for wrestling. And for all the new names, there's tons of you guys here, new people. You'll see two different kinds of shows on these channels. One where you won't see our faces or hear our voices, but you'll feel our love. And ones where you'll see me and Creed, which is basically your show. Time for you to take over, get into the chat, tell us what you think. We'll scrutinize and react, and I believe even do some commentary during these cases. All Middleton today, though. All Middleton.
I believe that's entirely possible, but listen, what a day. What a great way to start the week with Meg, ladies and gentlemen. Meg and TJ. I haven't seen
sexy
TJ.
As ever.
I haven't seen TJ in a while either. So good. Let's jump into it. Let's do it. Got a few different ones today. All Middleton, though.
A couple of different cases.
Sweet.
Start with Mr. Marker.
Mr. Marker. I call him Mr. Shoppy.
Maka Ramon.
This is Marker Ramon.
Mr. Marker.
Marker. Where's he at? Mr. Marker? Hello?
Marker.
Mr.
No, he's gone altogether.
Oh, no. What are we going to do?
Mr. Marker?
Anytime. Well.
My phone keeps on going in and out.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello.
All right. Your landlord wants you to move. What do you say to that?
I ain't got nowhere to go. I told him that once I get my taxes, I'm gonna catch him up.
Is that Mark the bagger?
Well, he's not asking you to pay the rent. He's asking you to move.
No.
I'm going to continue this
I ain't got nowhere to
matter.
go. I ain't got nowhere to go.
I don't think
ain't got nowhere to go.
Defense.
it's not their problem.
The landlord doesn't have to let you stay there without paying rent. He wants to terminate your tenancy. So I'm going to continue. So you should try to find a place to go.
Interesting.
Contact Department of DHS or Neighborhood Inc. Have you tried to get any emergency help? Well, it doesn't matter because
He's in on the joke.
Keystone Place.
Doesn't matter.
I'm going to set this live at the courthouse. You need to be here in person. I'm not going to do this where I can't see you.
Nah.
So you need to be here next Friday.
He moves at his
January
own pace, though.
19th.
We do cut out lulls here and there, though.
Mr.
Dips.
George, you can appear by Zoom, but we're going to set it for 8:35. Now, Mr. Marker, if they get what they ask for, you would have 10 days from January 19th to move out or be subject to being evicted. That would be where the sheriff comes and puts your stuff out on the street. So I don't know what to say. They've been trying to get you to move since October or so. Mr. George,
Well, I ain't got nowhere to fucking go.
All right, well, that's, the sheriff will put you on the,
Well.
street and you'll be standing there
He's
with your,
not touching my stuff.
what?
Nobody's touching my stuff.
Oh,
All right, well,
Well, you
Well,
gotta kick me and my
address
son
this.
out on the street.
yes.
He says.
Yes.
That's effed up, bro.
It's 19 weeks behind as of.
Ooh, 19 weeks.
oh.
That's effed up.
Yes, Mr. Marker, the private landlord is not compelled to provide housing without getting their
Well,
rent. But at this point,
I
they
bet
just
you're
want you
fucking
to
giving him money,
move.
but you don't give me no receipts.
All right, well, we're not
Oh.
asking for money. We're just asking you to move. So I want you to be here next Friday morning.
That's when you know it's
live
bad.
And in person.
We don't want your money. We just want you
That's
leave.
gone.
You tried to get in 1 second before we started. So you come here to the courthouse
Yeah.
Friday morning at 8:35. And we will discuss the matter further.
Apparently, these people get way bigger tax returns than I do because
All
I
right.
couldn't pay shit with mine.
Thank you, Robert.
Pay
If
back
they get
19
what they
weeks
asked
of
for, you would
back
have
rent.
till January 29th to move.
Hey, there he
All
is.
right,
nowhere.
see you next Friday morning.
Thank you, sir.
Well, he was
That
a
went
delight.
Pretty well.
That went pretty well.
And if Curse is here live, he'll have some.
You could have touched my effing stuff.
Thank you.
You gonna throw me and my son out on the street, are you? Time warping to Friday.
Oh, and Meg didn't even speak.
Properties LLC versus Robert Marker. We had a hearing last week, January 12th. And
Oh, cool. So we're fast forwarding to him coming back on Friday.
Now he's supposed to be there in persons.
Is he there?
we learned that you didn't have anywhere to go. Nonetheless, rent hasn't been paid in about 20.
I applied for assistance, and I haven't heard nothing back from him yet.
It doesn't sound like he's there in court, does it?
Unless he's sitting there with a megaphone. I don't think so.
I applied to different, multiple places.
I need time to find a new place.
Tell me about that.
I applied over at the DHS office. I applied a couple churches here in town and online and the Red Cross, and I haven't heard nothing back from them yet.
Oh, you waited to the last minute, bro.
Rah. Well, Mar.
Mary, quite contrary.
Oh, JG, even when she's in court doing her thing, very, very Meg Family Guy like as well.
Well, the problem is then the rent going forward.
Oh, stunning me.
I said, I got a job now.
Now,
Paper mill starts tomorrow. Maria went to the Bishop School of Broadcasting.
I'm at the Axel Building place.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I got a job now. 19 weeks of unemployment was rough. So I'm 20 weeks behind.
That's right. He ain't got nowhere to go, Gary.
I'm typically, he's got a kid too. He's considered a child.
Yeah, he did. He said,
It
you can kick
doesn't really
my
matter,
boy and I out.
Mr. Marker. This matter was filed as a termination of tenancy. He's not asking you to pay the rent. He's simply asking you to move.
Yeah,
So-
but I don't have nowhere to go. Me and my son.
I'd understand that. That isn't a defense.
It's kind of hard in the middle of fucking winter.
Yes, sir.
Are we going to stop him from that? He didn't even say anything about him with dropping the F-bombs.
Last time. Yeah.
Now
Now he
here we
is
are.
again, more effing and over the phone. He wouldn't do that to his face.
No. Right, Dennis?
Telephone tough guy.
I'm being courtesy to you to have you a phone call. Don't curse on the record here.
Finally.
I can't help it. You haven't paid rent in more than 20 weeks. Your landlord does not want to have you as a tenant anymore. Instead of trying to find another place.
I haven't paid rent. I haven't had a receipt since I moved in here.
Well, the evidence last time was you hadn't paid in 19 weeks and one more week has passed. This is a termination of tenancy. It's not a non-payment of rent. So if these agencies are going to help you, they can help you find another place to live. But you have 10 days from today, January 29th.
How am I gonna move out in 10 days?
I don't know the answer to that.
I gotta have more than 10 days to move out.
Well, the sheriff can come move you out and put your stuff out in the street.
I'm touching my stuff.
Well, that's how an eviction works.
Here we go again. You ain't coming to my effing place, Gary. It ain't happening, Gary. You ain't touching my stuff, Gary.
I wonder what kind of he has. I mean, he keeps talking about his being so great. What kind does he have? I mean, I'm just doing a courtesy for Middleton, not say shit, but
Right.
he keeps saying it over and over. What does he have? Do you think? Do you think he's like a classic collection of crusted over Playboys, or
He's
maybe
got
a gaming system with 3 inches of dog hair on it?
yes.
I'd like to see his shit.
Well, they better have more than a book shirt. They better have an army because nobody touched my stuff.
Ooh, an army.
Well, that's a more incentive for you to move it.
I got 30 days to move out.
You have 10 days to move out.
He's telling the judge how it works. He is sitting there in his house, and he's been sitting in for free for over 20 weeks now, and telling the judge how things work. It's amazing.
I like that he's demanded an army, so we can just go ahead and cut the middlemen out, go straight in with the SWAT team, bring in the marshals, whatever we need to throw his stuff right out on the old street there.
Can you, listen, if Judge Middleton wanted to be a dick,
oh my God, yeah,
he could break that apart, and I mean that's got to be illegal to sit there and say, oh, you better bring an army then, because why? Are you ready to fight a war? Are you?
Yeah,
I mean,
threatening me.
January 29th, or you're subject to being. I'm not sure where you found that, but the law says 10. You had a hearing on the 12th. I adjourned it for a week. You indicated you had nowhere to go. I said you should start looking for some. Well,
Mike,
I don't have an answer to that.
Mr. Hunt.
This landlord, every week you're there, he's losing money, which he's never going to be able to recover. He has other people waiting to rent the property, and he doesn't have to keep you as a tenant if he doesn't wish to. That's what this process is about. And so I've just found that you have 10 days to vacate, and good luck, sir. All right, well, the sheriff can help you move. So there's not much more to say about that.
He hung right up on him.
Mr. George, I've signed your judgment.
I think the police are outside waiting for him now. Hopefully it ends well for him. Oh, listen to that. Off in the distance. One of our favorite things in the whole world. It's Monday, and I'm in Creed Frame. Now, if you're new here, this is why I break the fourth wall, speak to you directly, and ask you to do us a huge favor. I need you to like the video. I need you to comment on the video. And most of all, I need you to subscribe to our fam. Be part of it, won't you?
that was a long one.
Can you? Also, there's a new, we got a Chase shirt up on the store, and so check it out.
We set the prelim for the stalking case for November 7th. It was continued. We set the prelim of the domestic violence case for November 14th. And Ms. Harmon did testify.
We'll testify.
And the defendant was bound over on November 14th.
Good God.
Was it your parents, Mike?
Did they throw your shit on the street?
So
Samson.
we had a domestic violence that
Samson.
allegedly occurred in Sturgis on July 6th. It took some time to get that matter to court. That prelim was held on November 14th, and the defendant was bound over to the circuit court. And the next incident in time was the August 14th incident of stalking.
Ooh.
Preliminary examination was held in that matter. Ms. Harmon testified the defendant was bound over to the circuit court on November 14th. The next incident in time is this incident.
DJ, thank you.
Officer Kuhn went to the sheriff's department to talk to Mr. Hewitt, according to the affidavit, on November 7th. And then he submitted it for a warrant on November 29th. So the prelim had been held on November 14th. This got submitted to the court in early December. And I would note in every one of these cases that I've mentioned, he has a no contact provision as part of his probation. He has a no contact provision with Carly Harmon as a part of the domestic violence case on July 6th. He has a no contact provision from the stalking complaint of August 14th, and he has a no contact condition in effect from the incident of August 4th. So the matter was bound over after preliminary examination on those two cases on November 14th. We took testimony, I recall it. Very close time after that, there was a hearing in the family court, in which case Ms. Harmon lost custody of her child.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
In fact, lost parental rights.
Oh,
In
That's-
part because of all of this. And so did Mr. Hewitt.
you notice one thing that I've noticed so far is Judge Middleton's not even looking him in the eye or over there.
No. And, Middleton's a man of honor.
He is.
If he respects people who are struggling and things like that. But people who have just blatantly thumbed their nose at the law and continue to, injure people. And I mean, it's gotten so bad to the point that the child he had with her, oh, awesome. I'm glad you like it. Well, we'll see. Let's see what we can do. He's at the point now where he's made such a mess of things. They've lost their child. Not just temporarily. It sounds just lost all their rights. And everything.
Yeah, which said that partially with him. You got the stalking and the DV stuff, and it doesn't sound like just one time. Sounds like a couple times. So this dude's got a pretty long rap sheet.
The problem too, it seems like with the lady, she needs to be more adamant about keeping him away. I mean, her allowing him around is probably what lost the child.
This is a new case. It's not.
Marker the stalker.
Marker's done. He's
Marker's shit is on the curve here.
That's right.
That's as hard as it gets.
Yeah.
And so at that point, then this case got adjourned a couple of times, once because Mr. George was in trial, once because Officer Kuhn was unavailable, over the holidays, and now here we are. And the indication would be as of October 4th, he was violating the conditions of his bond and his probation. And as of today, he was violating the conditions of 2 circuit court bonds, 1 district court bond, and 1 district court probation.
Jeez.
whoops.
And the defendant is bound and determined to have a relationship with Ms. Harmon. I don't know.
Just because I saw a couple of comments, so just so you guys understand. So Miss Harmon, I'm guessing, is the victim of the.
She's the victim
stalking
and
disease.
baby mama.
But due to some of her actions and his actions, it sounds like they went to court and it didn't go well for her either.
Yeah. I think too, she continued, they've got all these things, where he needs to stay away. And she was kind of letting them come around a little bit. And
probably making bad choices.
And he refuses to stay away from her.
Right.
He refuses not to try and be in a relationship with her. And it's a dangerous one where he's hurt her before. And I don't know the deal with the child, but he's hurt her. And always Nickelback's scary. It's a situation where luckily we've already removed the child.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very valid point.
Which side of the line she's on at this point. But the court looks pretty foolish when we keep ordering not to have any contact from a personal protection order, from a probation order, from a bond in a stalking case, from a bond in a felony domestic violence third case. And this new stalking case.
All right, so 3 cases.
October 4th.
Plus this one. So that's 4.
Can I speak?
No. So, I'm offended.
Am I wrong with saying that he just wants to blow his just?
Oh yeah, he wants to
top
go
and
crazy because
and go
again
off on
they
it.
thumbed their nose at the orders, numerous orders, not just one
Right.
thing. Well, the probation and the violation of this, and this. He's got tons of violations. They could throw him right in jail anytime they want at this point. It's gotten so bad. Can I say something? No.
It makes us look foolish. But I'm also offended by bullying you into some sort of a plea by locking you up. Because I don't think she's going to cooperate 2 weeks from now any more than she did now. But I also believe there's probable cause to support a bind over based on the testimony that I heard today. Mr. George, if you want your client to speak, I'll hear him. If you want him to not, I'll defer to anything else you have to say.
Getting the game plan together. Don't say this and don't say that.
It's just
I think he's disgusted by a lot that he was sitting there reading as well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of ins and outs of the case that we don't hear necessarily. He seems to know the dude, and if
oh yeah, he knows
that's
his case
true
in
about
and out.
him, like Big Tiff Dog said,
I hate that she's going through what she's going through. I hate it.
it's awful hard too because she's a victim in all of this,
And she's doing herself no favors.
but yet it sounds like she keeps coming back. So
They say he don't know what side of the fence she's on right now. Is she
Right,
wanting
yeah.
to be going to jail, or is she going to be with him next week?
right.
Your Honor, I when I spoke to David Tomlinson, he said that I was awarded a visit with my son. And if I made bond, that I would have a visit with my son. I've been in contact with Heather yesterday, and I have to talk to Chelsea Myers about doing a scrapbook for my son and possibly seeing him one last time before he goes up for adoption.
A scrapbook.
I just want to say, if like my bond is canceled, I can't do that. And I'll be right down the street, and I'd actually have an opportunity to get to see my son. Maybe take some pictures of me and him for the scrapbook.
Yeah.
It's really big. even though they say he's been gone so long that it would be pointless of me seeing him, I still want to see him. I think that's a good reason that he's been gone too long. To hug my son would be really awesome.
Oh, the silence is deafening. The silence is it kind of speaks volumes of what's going on here.
He kind of covered his face, but you could see he closed his eyes and was just like squinting really hard,
Yeah.
where he's trying to control what he's going to say next.
Because keep in mind, so this dude really doesn't even know it, which is very, very sad. Regardless, dude's a father. Kid's gonna be put up for
I
adoption.
call bullshit on his caring that much.
This
is his ploy to stay out of jail. If you
Right.
revoke me,
right.
I'm gonna miss seeing my son for the
Mhm.
last time. I'd like to get a couple pictures. You know, we're gonna dress alike in a few of them. If you
We're
don't
gonna do a
mind.
scrapbook.
Scrapbooking. I love scrapbooking. We got a Cricut at home now. We're gonna do tons of scrapbooking. Oh, it's gonna be great, Judge.
I don't think he's doing him any, I don't think he's doing himself any favors, and I think that everybody sees right through that bullshit. Sweet Tea, thank you. 5. We got a case channel.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
What a
Appreciate
blessing.
that.
Sweet her,
Welcome to the new members. And hello, Patty.
Patty.
I didn't review the record of the family court case, but I do believe that your rights were terminated because you failed to comply with all these bond conditions and personal protection orders. There are multiple allegations that you were assaulting her and she declined to stop contact with you, which resulted in the termination of your parental rights.
Yeah.
That's about as sad as it gets. So I'm going to continue this preliminary examination until January 30th. At 1 p.m. to allow prosecution to present additional evidence. Bond is canceled.
Ooh.
What?
It's canceled. You're going to jail.
Do you hear him?
Why?
What?
I don't
What?
want to argue about it. I'm not happy about it either.
It doesn't help anybody though.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't help me at all. Your Honor, please.
Please remove the defendant from here. I don't want to argue
I got
about
a
it.
backpack over here.
Might be not gonna cause me a problem right now.
No.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, is there,
Feel it?
please, is there a
Come on,
chance?
we gotta go.
The answer is no.
She got my attention out there, man, and
Yeah,
what am I
I
supposed to do?
just got your attention also.
Trevor.
I'm trying to dig a hole, man. I'm just trying to stay out of jail and see my son.
He has dug a hole. As I indicated, he violated a personal protection order, a probation condition, 2 felony bonds, and this bond. Ms. Davis, if you're serious about this, you'll be filing petitions to revoke his bond in the circuit court.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm not sure what we're gonna do 2 weeks from now. You may have gotten to the point where, what else do you do? She wants to, although they took her child away and his child also. And not sure that any order of the court is gonna keep them apart. That'll be my first day back from the trip. That will be something to discuss, but I will, for the reasons stated on the record, cancel this bond pending the further hearing in this matter. I can't get into the circuit court records. And once a matter is bound over to circuit court, it languishes for a while before it gets its file number 231.
So that
Yeah.
was that.
And we'll follow up. We're going to follow up with it as soon as he comes back from vacation in 2 weeks and whatnot. We are going to follow up with that and see if he's had that guy's had a change of heart. So, ooh, That was rough.
He's not going to have a change of heart, but I'm sure he'll have some more excuses as to why it's BS that he's in there. I'm sure. Judge Middleton just looking straight forward, and that dude over there just trying to plead with him is quite a moment, and
It shows his frustration with the case.
Yeah.
You could see it. He was just frustrated, and he let that guy go, and he gave him some zingers right back.
yeah,
He really did.
Yep.
So
yeah.
jumping to this next case, it's another person wanting someone out of their house, but there's also a domestic violence that's been in it as well. So let this next case be a lesson on letting people move in with you that need a place to stay.
616 LT. It's entitled Mark Hayes versus Isabella Powell. This is
It's Isabella. That's her daughter.
Well, easy.
Oh, Crystal, don't ask that around here. It brings up a very sore subject. It's not a good thing. How much was that? 5,000?
$500 to get
500. 500 just to get.
Might as well have been 5,000. We hadn't even made that much ever.
out on River Run Road. And Miss Powell has been staying there for some weeks and months now without benefit of a lease. Mr. Hayes wants her to move, and this is complicated. Good morning, sir. Are you Mark A. Hayes?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
And Isabella, can you hear me? Give me the thumbs up if you can.
Isabella looks like a man.
Yesterday, there was a hearing in the probate court regarding a commitment for a mental evaluation. Are you aware of that, Isabella? Isabella, are you aware that there was a hearing yesterday? All right.
Good
Isabella
enough.
is presently in custody on a domestic violence charge, third offense, with a $5,000 bond. There was a hearing in the probate court yesterday regarding a commitment for a mental health evaluation and treatment, that's called an involuntary commitment order. I wasn't at the hearing. I was advised of it by Lisa Iantelli at the jail and by our magistrate. I know Miss Powell. She was a participant in our sobriety court treatment program, and I released her because she and I have a fundamental disagreement about whether she needs mental health treatment or not. I believe she does, and she believes
So he knows her well.
not. So I simply discharged her from the program, wished her well. I knew this was going to be a problem. Mr. Hayes let her come stay with him after she was removed from her mother's house by a personal protection order on Portage Street in Three Rivers. She had nowhere to go. So Mr. Hayes took her in. There's no lease, she pays no rent, and she doesn't wish to move.
She did pay rent, Your Honor.
She did?
Yeah, $300 a month.
Okay, starting when?
In April, when she moved, I came in on vacation. She was homeless. I had been watching her for 6, 7 months in the program. I reached out to help her out with understanding that she worked on herself, stayed sober, kept her job, and did the right thing.
All right, so far that sounds good, right? He's
got good intentions, it seems like.
Watches her go through the program as she's sobering up. They got things going. All right. And by the way, what a nice mobility scooter that man had.
That is nice. That's a top tier vehicle.
By the way, that looks very menacing back there.
Yes.
Like we're in another country. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I don't know. Scary though.
She did that for 90 days. And then after that, she quit. She started doing crazy stuff. I've got photos of the stuff she did.
All right, well, we don't need to get into
Doing crazy stuff.
Maintained her sobriety.
I believe she has too.
So she got that. She has not relapsed into alcohol, but she, I believe, is suffering from a mental illness and she won't acknowledge it or accept it. When did she last pay any rent?
She paid in July. She paid in August, but then she stole it back.
Oh,
Half of it.
I need that back. Chris.
When Sergeant Morse went to serve her, she wouldn't come out of the room. And so he posted it and she's here now. Isabella, the law requires that I adjourn this matter at least 7 days. Mr. Hayes, I have to continue this matter for at least 7 days. Isabella, are you willing to speak to me at all? Apparently, no.
Is she another dimension?
All right.
right.
I knew it was going to come to this.
He
She
put
didn't
gloves
like-
on.
She didn't like living there. She doesn't like Mr. Hayes, but she
What's he getting ready
didn't
for?
have a plan B.
I don't know. I think he thinks
So
things
I
might
knew
get
at
out of
some
hand.
point he was going to try to terminate her tenancy, which he has. So the law requires, whether I like it or anybody else likes it, that there is a second hearing. And that's going to be Friday, December 1st. At 1 p.m.
Mhm.
Speaking of comedians, Dave Attell's playing in a couple days here in Charlotte, and we're going to be up in the mountains.
This matter is continued
I
until
would love to go see Dave Attell, by the way. I think he'd be.
I almost bought right before Christmas. I almost bought me and Bishop tickets to go see Cat Williams in Raleigh,
Oh,
and I should have bought them because now
Probably worth-
it's completely sold out.
yeah, I believe it too. Last night, Tool was in town, which I didn't even know, but Liardi, the one man party, was there, and I said, "Stop by him," and
As,
off
as
of-
well as Mr. David Tripp as well.
oh my God, really?
They were both there, yeah.
And Andy
Andy Forrester,
Logan,
well-known comedian and
lot of
designer
people that were
of logos.
Andy, did you ever get that money, by the way? I just wondered, asking for a friend.
next Friday, December 1st at 1 o'clock. At that point, if nothing changes, I would order that you be out of the property within 10 days of that date, which would be December 11th. Now, late yesterday at about 5 minutes to 5, magistrate contacted me and said that they are requesting, Lisa at the jail, that we amend your bond to a PR bond so you can go for the medical psychological evaluation. And I said, I'm not doing anything until I talk to her. One of the problems with that evaluation, A, as a condition of your bond, you can't leave the state. So it would have to be within the state of Michigan. B, I don't think you're going to cooperate. So you could walk in the front door and walk out the back door. You won't even speak to me this morning. So you've also got a criminal felony charge that's coming up for a pre-exam conference.
Uh-oh.
But this is simply the landlord-tenant case, which will be continued until next Friday at 1 o'clock. Mr. Hayes, you wanted to say something else?
I'm a little bit lost because I don't want her, after what happened Monday night with the assault charge, is she gonna be able to come back on my property?
Well, there are a couple things. There's a bond condition that says she can't go back there.
Okay,
So even if she gets out of jail, she can't go to your property as a condition of bond. She has possessions there. Now, Autumn from our office had conferred with you months ago and advised you to do this termination of tenancy.
Mayor.
You can't just throw her stuff out on the street. All right, so that's
And recorded in front of a live studio audience as well,
the
Keith.
second thing.
Yes.
You can't use a personal protection order to evict somebody. although it happened in the case with her mother. Judge Pattison ruled on that, and he made her move out from a personal protection order. But as a rule, you can't use a personal protection order to evict somebody. You did hire Christine Yancey, who was here in the background, but you indicated you didn't want her to represent you in this matter. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, Miss Yancey, you're released from any obligation in this matter.
Damn.
But
Bringing Miss Yancey just to
rule.
fire on there.
And Isabella is entitled to one adjournment, whether any of us like it. She's not willing to
Good
say
morning.
anything, but we're going to
Good day.
continue this hearing until next Friday at 1 o'clock. Yes, sir.
Okay, you gotta go by the rules. I
Uh-oh.
applied for this eviction notice and I gave her the eviction notice back on 9/11.
Yes.
Okay, I talked with Autumn, which I thought was her PO. That was when I was informed.
She was no longer on probation. She was not on probation at that
That's
point.
when I was informed that she was no longer on probation. Okay, my point is with the attorney, she was gonna file on the 12th, and she failed to do so. Is that the 30 days was up on the 11th? Okay, of October. In the courts, this court did not even follow its own 5 to 7 days with giving me a hearing within the 5 to 7 days of an eviction notice. And that's in Michigan state law. And now we're extending it even further, Your Honor. That's where I'm really confused and
Okay.
frustrated.
Maybe you should go to law school and get a law degree
No, sir,
and
I'm
be a
just
judge for
I'm
22
just
years. Stop before you try to explain to me how landlord-tenant law works.
I don't.
You
I'm
read
asking
something
you.
on the internet.
I was asking.
Well, you're incorrect. You follow all the procedural steps. It takes a long time. The Supreme Court has changed the way that landlord-tenant cases work. They take longer. Some of it was COVID and some of it is a brand new rule. So this goes under the category of no good deed goes unpunished. You let her move into your house and she established a tenancy and then you are stuck with it. She doesn't like you and you don't like her, but she wasn't willing to move. So I have to continue this matter until next Friday at 1 o'clock. You had a competent lawyer. She's one of the best landlord-tenant lawyers in the county, but you chose to release her from your obligation because you read something on the internet.
No, I didn't read anything on the internet. It was her actions.
Did you guys catch that? He had one of the best lawyers for that in the county.
Again?
And
Yeah. He fired her right in front of our very eyes a second ago. I like that judge had her show up anyways, had her be here.
Yeah.
But again, don't bring nobody in your house, man. That's
is
craziness.
And I do give Mr. Rascal credit, trying to mostly do it the right way by going and getting the eviction rather than taking matters into your own hands, which I think a lot of people do. I am slightly sympathetic on his side for the simple fact that the amount of extra time that these people, these freeloaders or whatever they are, the extra time that they get in these eviction matters are crazy. It's always okay. Another week. Oh, another 2 weeks out. I mean, the process is just absolutely insane. It really is. So I understand his frustrations to an extent, but he's not
Plus, she
handling
beat
that
his
well.
ass a couple days prior to this. So
Good point. Yeah, that's another thing that probably ticked him off a little bit.
All right, well, we're going to deal with this matter next Friday. And at that point, the law requires that I give her 10 days to
I think
move.
his cart needs to plug in.
There's a couple
Heard
of
a beep.
One, she's in jail on a felony charge with a $5,000 cash or surety bond and a condition that she not go back to your property. So she isn't going to be there anyway. The probate court has ordered that she get an involuntary mental health evaluation, which she doesn't want to do. And she can't do that unless I amend her bond. And at this point, I'm not inclined to do that. Isabella, is there anything you wish to say? All right. This
Well
matter
said.
continued until next Friday at 1 o'clock. At that time, I will order if she has 10 days to move or she's subject to being evicted. Then on or after December 11th, you can take all her possessions out of her room and
Throw them in the trash.
give them to somebody. Maybe her mother will pick them up. I don't know. Anyway, Isabel and I, as I said, have a fundamental disagreement and we're still at that position. I think she needs mental health treatment. She does not. Judge Tomlinson ordered that she get some. And I don't think she wants to do that. All right, next Friday at 1 o'clock, just like this.
May I say something?
Yes, sir.
The only thing, from my experience, she's a good person. She's been clean and sober. I know that. Okay. Like most people, the first year is free in recovery, being off the substance. And now she's at the point where she needs to do what she needs to do to get her help mentally. I've been there. I've done that. I tried to talk to her about that. She's against it. And I went through, I've been looking for stuff that's been taken out of my property. And I found her medicine. It's a sad case that she's not even willing to help herself when she's got the medicine to do so.
Well, you and I are on the same page.
That was my whole purpose of letting her in, to get her help.
Well,
She needs mental health treatment.
done with her recovery. She hasn't relapsed.
That, to my, there's beer. I have beer and alcohol in my house for my family and visitors. And she's done a very good job with that.
This
Now
isn't
it's time.
Clean and sober, Creed, but I got alcohol and beer in my place for friends and family to come visit.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good idea, but
No.
if it works for him, it works for him. She needs some help, mental
Yeah, she
help,
does.
probably. And Judge just seems to be kind of like he's being heavy-handed on her, not coming off that bond at all.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to force her
Mhm.
into it. I don't know if that'll help her or hurt her, but at the end of the day, at least he's trying.
At least he's trying. Wallace, we're on a few different things. We got the main channel, Credence and Mikey on YouTube. We've also got We Got a Case, which is case only stuff. You're not going to get any We Got a Chase. You're not going to get any live chases, stuff like that over there. So if that's what you're here for, then you got that. We are on Facebook and Twitch, but it's a lot more fun over on the YouTubes.
And if you have Discord, anybody wants to join us on Discord, I'm sure one of the lovely mods would point you in the right direction for that, because that is a great way to get notifications of everything and anything we do. Also,
yeah,
there will be a new video going up today from Judge Stevens of a guy who shows up dressed poorly for court. And by God, does he let him know it, as well as a case of a guy who is on his second manslaughter charge, driving and killing and injuring people.
Oh my God.
And he wants off of that pesky GPS. So all that and much more will be premiering today at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We hope to see you there for that.
One more hallelujah too. Tiny Piggy with $5. I'm sorry, I just have to show you this. This is something. Patty, we'll see you. I'm holding you to that. I'm going to ask when
I'm going to be looking for Patty.
Patty, here you are. We usually just go to this on Fridays just to see what's going on. Gosh, even on a Monday afternoon, the old elbow room's kind of busy, and
yeah,
we got a man going through his luggage.
Definitely a different crowd, kind of.
Yeah, little different. Apparently they have some pizza too. It's just got a nice big old.
I see the Groove Cruise is here as well.
Hey now. Anyway, the Mega Middleton Monday Express. Gary, thank you. DJ with the gift. Sweet Tea, by the way, it's Credence and Mikey, Sweet Tea, with 5 gifts, and Tiny Piggy, thank you for the 5 votes. I was gonna say, we have a mod that says it's Creed and Mikey.
See, I mess up and I call you Creed way too much. So now I've got everybody else calling you Creed.
See what happens
now.
Yeah, we got that too. They stake it. Yeah, we don't tell many people about that. It's a private.
That's kind of on the DL, I think they say.
That's right.
Yeah. So if you're new here, these kinds of videos will be your show where you get to speak out, let us know what you think, hang out. Great community over there. So if you're confused and you maybe watch one of our other videos and you're like, oh, who are these guys? That's what's going on. That's where you're at.
That's what's going on. You might be right.
Never know. It's kind of weird. Wouldn't you go outside and do that instead of right here in front of the stage? I don't know. It's just
Yeah, I mean, I would, but
he's there's a camera outside. Let me go inside and do this.
yeah.
We love you. Yeah, we're pretty close. If we're not, I know we don't have a buffer by now. We may have stepped over that line, but we like buffers here. So we'll see you back at 3 p.m. Eastern for a premiere over on Credence and Mikey. And then 4:05, We Gotta Chase. You'll be able to find that on We Gotta Chase on YouTube, as well as Credence and Mikey, where you see it all. You see it all. Yeah, he's trying to get that thing cut off. You guys do us a favor, leave a comment.
Hi,
leave a
Pam.
like. Pam, good to see you. Yeah, next time say hello like Pam did. I want you guys stay safe, stay hard, stay tuned. Don't take matters into your own hands. Take them to court.
All right, did you steal that one from somewhere?
Yeah, that's the People's Court. Yeah,
Oh, that is from the People's Court.
I'm trying to get Doug Llewellyn's job.
Oh, that's no, I like that. I would keep using that until you get a cease and desist.
Absolutely, why not?